Today, we're starting a new series on this channel. I've kind of gotten bored with F1 23 lately. I've been playing quite a lot of F1 Manager 2023, so even though F1 Manager 2024 comes out pretty soon, and F1 Manager and just F1 24, I'm going to be doing something that I've wanted to do for a while. Now that I'm playing on PC, I'm going to mod this game. What I'm going to do is we're going to start off by spinning this wheel. That will decide which team we're going to drive for in this season. At least this season. We might do multiple seasons of this. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see which team we get given. Then we're going to grab all 20 drivers on the current grid. I've swapped out De Vries for Ricciardo just because I just wanted to. And we've also got RB in stake instead of Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri. We're then going to see where the wheel puts all the drivers in whichever teams. We're then going to also see what races on the are going to be on the calendar this season. I think I'm just going to do like a 10 race season just so we can kind of, get through it fairly quickly and see how far we can get through this. And then we've got to put it all through a mod, which I'll link in the description down below, and we'll get going and see what crazy stuff can happen in this fun little career mode we've got going on here. But to start with, we've got to see what team the game is going to give us. So we're going to spin the wheel here. My playthrough that I'm just kind of doing on my own, I'm currently racing for Ferrari, so I'd rather we not have Ferrari. It looks like we're getting Haas. So that's going to be interesting because Haas start off in F1 23 as kind of a midfield team. So that's good because we're not way at the top. I didn't really want to have Red Bull or Ferrari because, they are right at the very top. I didn't also want to have one of the really low teams. So Haas is kind of in the middle at the start of this game. So that's interesting. So we will be playing as Haas in this career mode. All right, so now we've added Haas back again, and we're going to spin the wheel again, this same wheel. This is going to determine which team we're getting the drivers for first. So let's spin the wheel again. We'll spin the wheel, whatever team it lands on, we will then get 2 drivers for that team. So it looks like, Williams. Okay, so Williams is going to be the first team that we're going to get drivers for. So let's see what drivers it picks for us. All right, so I've got all 20 current F1 drivers on the right there in the wheel, and we are going to pick our 2, well, we're not going to pick, the wheel is going to pick the 2 drivers racing for Williams in this season. So let's spin the wheel. Let's see who our first Williams driver is going to be. And it is, looks like Magnussen. Almost Albon, but it's Magnussen. So Kevin Magnussen will be racing for Williams in this season. So we're going to remove him from the wheel, and then we're going to spin again for our second driver. So Magnussen, who is Magnussen going to be alongside at Williams in this 2023 career mode of ours? It's looking like Tsunoda. Okay, so Yuki Tsunoda and Kevin Magnussen at Williams. So not a massive change of, where they are position-wise. I think in this game, Williams are lower, at least to start with, than Haas. So, well, and our RB as well, I guess. I think RB are pretty low as well, actually. So Williams and RB about the same sort of place at the start of this game. So Tsunoda and Magnussen at Williams. All right, let's see who the next team is that we will be getting our drivers for. The wheel spins around, and sorry, my phone is just dinging there. Looks like it's going to be Stake. All right, Stake F1 team, the next team to have their drivers chosen. All right, who are Stake going to get for their drivers? The wheel spins for the first time for Stake F1, and they are getting Logan Sargent. Okay, we're picking some of the lower down drivers so far, so that's interesting. None of the big drivers picked so far, really. So Logan Sargent at Stake, and who is going to be the next driver at that team? Come on, let's get one of the big drivers. Get them in one of the low down teams. That would be very interesting. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's going to be Albon. Okay, Albon and... was it Albon and Sargent? Is it literally Albon and Sargent at Stake? I think it is. It picked the 2 Williams drivers for Stake. Okay, both Williams drivers now at Stake F1. All right, let's do it again. I did forget to mention that whatever order they come out in will be which car they get put in. So, for instance, because Sargent got picked first, he's going to be in car 1. Albon's going to be in car 2. So that's something a little bit interesting. We've got Mercedes, so we've got a higher up team for this one. So let's see what drivers Mercedes are going to get. All right, Mercedes, let's see what you are going to get here. The wheel spins around, and I think they're going to get Leclerc. They're going to get Charles Leclerc. So Charles Leclerc is going to be at Mercedes. So he's taken a step down from Red Bull, but not a massive step down. So that's interesting. Interesting so far that the higher drivers are going to the higher teams and the lower drivers are still going to the lower teams. So hopefully that does change. All right, so next one for Mercedes, who will be alongside Charles Leclerc in this team. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be... Oh, no, it's not. It's Perez. Okay. So once again, two high drivers, Leclerc and Perez at Mercedes. That's interesting. All right, next team up. Who is it going to be? I feel like we are probably going to get a driver in their original team at some point here. Oh, and it looks like we're getting Haas. So this is our team. This is the team we will be taking control of this season. So let's see what drivers we get. Hopefully it's going to be good to me. All right, what drivers are we going to get? We could get Hulkenberg again. We can't have Magnussen because he has already gone. We're not going to get Hulkenberg. We're getting Verstappen. This isn't rigged. I promise you, this is not rigged. But we are driving for Haas, and our first driver is Max Verstappen. Maybe this isn't going to be so terrible after all. All right, who's going to be alongside Verstappen? Whoever it is, they're probably going to lose to Verstappen. Could you imagine if we got like Alonso or something? Oh my god, we're not. We are. We're getting Alonso. We're getting Verstappen and Alonso at Haas, and we are controlling them. See, I couldn't have had that. I couldn't have had that be any better. Like, what? I literally could not have had a better driver pairing. I don't think. Like, maybe Hamilton Leclerc, Hamilton Alonso. Verstappen Leclerc, Verstappen Alonso, Verstappen. Well, yeah, we've got Verstappen Alonso, Verstappen Hamilton maybe. But wow, Verstappen Alonso at Haas. That is our team. Okay, I'm pretty excited for this now. All right, so our team is sorted. We've got to fill in the other 6 teams here. The final 12 drivers, I guess. The next team we will be filling in, okay, is Red Bull. So we've just had Verstappen and Perez are both already taken. So now Red Bull, the team that is going to be at the top, really, at the start of this career mode, they now get to choose their drivers. Okay, what have we got in store for Red Bull? Are they going to have a good lineup here? Looks like they're going to start with Ocon. Yep, Esteban Ocon will be their #1 driver at Red Bull. It's a pretty decent pick. Ocon's a good driver. I think he'll do well. Who is going to be alongside Esteban Ocon? Let's see. We got a mixture of drivers in here at the moment. What is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll. So I'm going to guess Lawrence Stroll has gone to Red Bull, brought his son along with him, and now Lance Stroll is going to be in the quickest car on the grid with Esteban Ocon. So that could be exciting. All right, only 5 teams to go. We are halfway through. We've got Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpine, and RB still to find their team drivers, and it is RB next. We go from Red Bull to RB to see what drivers they're going to get. RB, what have you got in store? Who will be your #1 driver at RB for 2023 Crazy Career Mode? It's going to be Carlos Sainz. Okay, so Carlos Sainz unfortunately taken a pretty big dip. RB pretty much like, AlphaTauri in this game, but we've changed them to RB in a mod. Pretty much the worst team down there with Williams, I think. So Sainz is gonna have to go through a lot to see if he can do anything with that team in that car. And who is going to be the driver alongside him at RB? It's going to be Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri is going to be in the RB alongside Carlos Sainz. Only 4 teams left now. Who will get the next slot? I guess when we get to the last team, I might do a spin just to see who gets car 1, who gets car 2. But we'll wait for that. It is McLaren next. So what drivers will McLaren get? So only 8 drivers here left. Which 2 will McLaren take? First spin. Oh, is it going to be our first? Oh, no, we almost got Lando Norris back at McLaren again, but it just went over to Pierre Gasly. So Gasly is going to be at McLaren in the #1 car. Who is going to be Gasly's teammate? Still yet to get a double up yet. I think it is going to happen, though, at some point. It looks like it's not going to happen this time around, and we have got one of the Stake F1 Alfa Romeo drivers, so Zhou Guanyu is going to be alongside Pierre Gasly at McLaren. So, okay. interesting lineup. Don't know how Zhou's going to do because McLaren and Alfa Romeo are very similar on performance at the start of this game. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he does there. Next team, we've still got both Ferrari drivers on the list here. Sorry, both Mercedes. Did I say Mercedes or Ferrari? I'm not sure. We're picking Ferrari drivers this time around. So that is cool. But yeah, we haven't. Hamilton and Russell both still haven't been picked yet. So, I mean, they're not going to be at Mercedes because Mercedes has already been taken. But will they end up together again? One thing to note while we do this spin for Ferrari is that we cannot actually have a double up now. All the drivers left, their teams have already gone. So we will not have the same driver at their normal team. So that's very exciting. That makes things a lot more interesting for me personally, and probably for you guys as well. Nico Hülkenberg is going to be the #1 driver at Ferrari. So that's pretty exciting. Who will be alongside Hülkenberg in the Scarlet Red Ferrari? It is going to be... Oh, is it going to be Hamilton? Oh, no, it's just gone over to Russell. Okay, so George Russell and Nico Hülkenberg at Ferrari. 2 teams to go, Aston Martin and Alpine. Which one will get the primary picks and which the other team will just have to have the drivers that they get given? So it's Alpine. Alpine are going to get the spin of the 4 drivers. So let's see what they get. We've got Hamilton, Norris, Bottas and Ricciardo. 2 of them are going to Alpine. 2 of them are going to Aston Martin. The first driver at Alpine is going to be Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton goes to Alpine. It's going to be a bit of a step down for him, unfortunately. But who will be alongside him at Alpine? This will determine who then gets the seats at Aston Martin. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Hamilton and Bottas are back together as teammates again, but now they're at Alpine. Neither of them are at Mercedes. They're now at Alpine. So Hamilton and Bottas at Alpine. And we've got Norris and Ricciardo left, so they will... I mean, there you go. That's funnily enough, isn't it? Norris and Ricciardo, also 2 drivers that are going to be pairing back up together again. Of course, used to be at McLaren, now going to be back together at Aston Martin. We will spin the wheel to see which one will be the #1 driver, though. Will it be Norris? Will it be Ricciardo? I think it's going to be Ricciardo. Yes, it is. Ricciardo will get the #1 car at Aston Martin alongside Lando Norris. That is all our teams done. So now we're going to see what races on the calendar we will be doing. So it's now time to pick I think 10. I think we're just going to go for 10 races because, I think I want to do 10 races, see where we're at, see if I want to keep doing the series, and then maybe we'll do a second series. Depending on how things go, I might either, see what the driver transfers do, see what crazy stuff happens, or we'll do this again for the second season, mix everybody around again. I think that could be a lot of fun. So we'll see what 10 races we get this season. So this is just going to be, we're just going to do 10 spins, 10 different races, whichever order they come up in, that's the order that we're going to be doing the races in. So this season, round 1 of this season, the season will get underway in Monaco. Is it? Or is it going to flick to Spain? Oh, no. No, it's gone to Spain. Okay. So Spain, the season will start in Spain. Okay. Interesting. The old test track. A decent enough place to start, I guess. Not the best track in the world, but it kind of makes sense as a starting point. Of course, this is probably not going to make any sense geologically. Sure. Geographically, I guess. It's going to be all over the place, but we start in Spain. So round 2. Where are we going for round 2? Looks like we're going to Hungary for round 2 of the season. Okay. Let's go again. Let's just quick fire all of these. Hungary's gone. Let's see where we end up for round 3. Round 3 is going to be in Miami. All right, Miami for round 3. Let's go round 4. It'd be nice to get one of the later races in the season. I've already raced at Miami and Spain in my career mode. Haven't raced at it's just gone to Bahrain. Haven't raced at Hungary yet. I'm up to Great Britain at the moment. So Bahrain's going to be round 4 in this season. I was hoping we'd get UAE there because I haven't driven that yet, of course, since it's the last race of the season. And my current one that I'm doing, I haven't mixed anything around. Then we're going to Canada for round 5. Okay, once again, we're still kind of in the first half of the season at the moment. So it'd be nice to get something a little bit later on. So that's half the season done. where do we go for the start of the second half of the season? Azerbaijan. So once again, we're still in the first half of the season. A little bit disappointed by that. I would have liked to see a little bit more variety in that regard, but that's okay. Round 7. Where will we go next? Okay, it looks like we are going to be towards the back end of the season this time. Good. We're going to Mexico for round 7. Okay, see how that goes. We then go round 8. Maybe we're going to end up with, you know, end of the season races at the end of the season anyway, even in this short mixed up season, because it looks like, yep, round 8 we're going to Japan. Of course, now that is a beginning of the season track, but in F1 it is a end of the season track, so that's round 8. 2 more to go. Where are we going to be in round 9? I'd like to see Brazil. I'd like to see something like Singapore or something maybe. Looks like the Netherlands. Okay, Netherlands for round 9. So Verstappen's home Grand Prix in the Haas. That should be exciting. And then for the finale for this season, where will we go for the finale of our first season in this crazy mixed up career mode? It's looking like Austria, which is the race that I have just done in my normal mode, and yes it is. So Austria is the final race of the season. So yeah, bit of a mixed up calendar there. Would have liked to see a few more kind of, you know, second half of the season tracks. Most of those were the first half of the season, and a lot of Europe, but yeah, interesting. I'll plug all that in, and I think it's about time to get going. Alright, so we're now in the game. All the changes have taken place. First of all, apologies if some of the audio is a bit off, you know, with the game and with my audio. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be too loud or too quiet, so bear with me if that's not quite correct for this video. But yep, this is everything sorted out here. Only issue for some reason, AlphaTauri is still called AlphaTauri and not RB. I don't know why that is. Stake has changed name, so I don't know what that's about. But as you can see, we've got Verstappen, we've got Alonso. Let's just take a quick look at all the drivers here, just for the fun of it. So we've got Verstappen, of course, in the Haas, Leclerc in the Mercedes, Perez in the Mercedes, Russell at Ferrari, Sainz at RB, Hamilton at Alpine, Norris at Aston Martin, Ocon at Red Bull, Alonso at Haas, Bottas at Alpine, Magnussen at Williams, Gasly at McLaren, Stroll at Red Bull, Tsunoda at Williams, Zhou Guanyu at McLaren, Albon at Stake, De Vries is not at Red Bull, sorry, it shows him there. He's, at the moment, he's just like the reserve driver at Red Bull, so that's why it shows him like that. Then we've got Hulkenberg at Ferrari, Piastri at AlphaTauri, Sargent at Stake, and then Ricciardo at Aston Martin. So yes, let's get straight into this one. I think I'm going to skip through the well, I think I can simulate the practice sessions, so I'm going to do that, and then we're going to go through qualifying. All right, I'm ready to go into qualifying. I've moved my camera to the top right because I think that works a little bit better. Let me know down below if you like that, or whether you prefer it somewhere else. I moved it there because I think that's going to work better, because it's not going to be obstructing too much up there that I really need to see. I had it down bottom right before, and that's, you know, it's kind of obstructing the, you know, this whole Alonso and Verstappen section. So I think that's the best place for it. So we're going to go through Q1. We're going to send Verstappen out first, and then probably just send Alonso straight out after him. Yeah, we'll see what lap times we can do. I'm not sure if we're going to make it out of Q1. I think we should be able to make it out of Q1. Because yeah, the Haas is a kind of middle of the road car at the start of this, so we should be able to make it out of Q1, but let's do our first laps and see where we end up. Alright, so first lap's done. We're the only two to have crossed the line so far. Alonso just over a tenth ahead of Verstappen at the moment, actually. So we'll have to see where everybody else comes up here, because nobody else has crossed the line yet. But 1:13.8 for Alonso. Tsunoda's just gone third, so we're ahead of Tsunoda. So we'll see where the rest of them rack up. Doesn't look like Verstappen's improving. Alonso, a little bit. Okay, he did improve to P6. P6 and P9. So we've made it through to Q2. Pretty well, actually. Only 3 tenths off the pace there for Alonso. So very good. Who have we lost in? So we've lost both of the Saubers, Sargent and Albon. We've lost Zhou in the McLaren. We've lost Piastri in the RB. And we've lost Magnussen in the Williams. So, alright. Alright, let's see what we can do. I think we can push on to Q3 here. So that's pretty good. Pretty promising. All right, Alonso P2 there so far. Verstappen is still finishing off his lap. We might as well watch the end of this lap. I'm not sure. 22.2, 30.4, 22.1. Okay, Alonso's way up on Verstappen. Verstappen not on a very good lap here, it seems. It's probably going to put him last of the runners, actually. Yeah, P6, 1.6 down. So he's obviously had some sort of issue on that lap there, because that is not a good lap at all from Verstappen. All right, let's go out again. Verstappen is in P13, so he is in the drop zone there, so we'll get him out. Alonso might be safe in P8, but I think we'll get him out again just in case, because it could be a little bit tight. Let's wait for the Mercedes to probably go now. Get these guys on their laps, and we might watch these laps because I don't know if they'll both get through. Maybe. Verstappen just didn't have a good lap. Alonso's fairly good at the moment, but we'll wait and see. So Alonso is at risk, but Verstappen more so, and being stuck behind an Alpine. I mean, the Alpine is quicker than us on pace, and Bottas should do a decent job, but he's right there in P10, so he's not massively safe either. And if he goes quicker here, that's going to put Alonso in P10, and then if we can go quicker, that's going to put Alonso in the drop zone, so he's going to need to improve then. And I mean, Hamilton's there, he's probably a big threat as well. So as we cross the line for Verstappen, it is not... Oh my god, he's out. Verstappen is out. That is not good for Verstappen. He is out of qualifying. Alonso should be safe. I don't know if he's improving here, but he should be safe anyway. He did improve, not position, but he did improve his time. So I think Alonso is going to be safe. Is Hamilton on a flyer right now? No, he's not even out on track. Bottas is out. None of these guys are going to go quicker, are they? So Tsunoda, nah. All right, Alonso's through. Verstappen is out though in Q2, so that's a shock. All right, here we go. Final lap of Q3 for Alonso. We're currently sitting P5. We are actually sitting in a pretty damn good position right now. I did not expect to be that high up. This is a used set of tyres. I did have one more brand new set of softs left, but I want to make sure that we've got a set of softs for the race. If we even use softs, we might not, but it's nice to just at least keep one there. So it's like a 90% used set of softs, so it shouldn't really affect us too much. A lot of traffic though as we start this lap. He is green through sector 1, so it is a green first sector. That is a good start for Alonso. As we now come through this next section, P5 is, I mean, we're only 3/10 off Ocon in P1 in the Red Bull. Stroll was all the way down to P9. He's not had a good time. Got the two Ferraris behind us as well. I expected especially Russell to, you know, he's probably the highest. I mean, you've got Leclerc, but Russell is in the Ferrari, which is the second quickest car on paper. And he is one of the top drivers, the highest rated drivers. So I expect him to jump up there a little bit with a better lap time. We're only yellow through sector 2 with Alonso, so that's not great. But to be honest, if we're better than 9th, I mean, on paper the Haas is 10th here, but if we're better than 9th, I'll be happy. We crossed the line. We haven't gone quicker.
So right now you're P6.
Yep, so P6 at the moment. So that's it. That's P8 for Alonso. I'm pretty happy with that. That is a pretty good result, I'd say. So it's Esteban Ocon in the Red Bull on pole, then Lando Norris, Stroll, Russell, Perez, Hulkenberg, Leclerc, Alonso, Bottas, and then Ricciardo. So that's our grid for this first race. All right, here we go. Spanish Grand Prix, first race of the season.
Is the Spanish Grand Prix.
And oh, lights are out very quickly.
Away we go.
Let's see how we get going here. Alonso off the start has already lost a position, but not too big of an issue. Verstappen's already made up one, but as we go into turn 1, probably going to be a bit of a Constantina effect. Oh, there's a crash behind. What was that? There's a crash behind us. The screen's just decided to change things. I don't know what happened there. One of the
that incident looks to involve
is that one of the Saubers
right then,
went around?
Take a look now. Now this was on the straight. Barely any room to maneuver.
Okay, so that's one of the Saubers. I think Albon
between
actually
them.
into Piastri. So that's not good for Albon, not good for Piastri either. Although Piastri does continue on with looks like a bit of rear wing damage for him there. And then Albon, has he got front wing damage? Doesn't. Yeah, a little bit of front end plate damage, but nothing too serious to be honest. And he's already curled up to the back of those guys. So that's good to see. Verstappen gets past Sainz. That's nice to see. Although they're still actually fighting side by side here. So okay, there we go. It looks like he's got the move done now, unless Sainz goes for a dive bomb, which he will not. So that's good. Verstappen up a position. Alonso has been overtaken by Bottas at the start here, but we'll see what he can do about that. Whether he can make any positions up. It is a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. Ocon from Stroll. So that's interesting. Stroll made up a position because he obviously started in 3rd place. So, yeah, 1-2 for Red Bull. So even with this mixed up randomized grid, it's still a Red Bull 1-2. We'll keep pushing for now on the fuel. VSC? Why have we got a VSC?
There's a yellow flag now.
Another crash?
Let's take a closer look. Now this was at turn 1.
What's happened here?
Pushing a bit too hard at this
Zhou
point.
Guan Yu and Piastri.
And
Zhou goes into the back of Piastri and into the wall for both of them. Oh my goodness. I think they both came off pretty goddamn bad. Are they both out? Is that both of them out? Oh, another spin at Norris. Norris has spun now. Oh my god, what is going on? He was in 3rd place.
And the controls lost.
Oh, great camera angle. Spins off.
That.
Oh. Norris, what have you done? You were looking at a podium here, mate.
You can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
No, it's Ocon had an issue. Ocon's had an issue now as well.
Now,
oh my god, from the lead of the race, what is going on here?
Here we go, heading into turn 1.
So Ocon is, I think, 2nd at this point in time. Just way too eager on the brakes. Oh, Ocon, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Oh, it looks like Verstappen may be getting... I think he's trying to get past Hamilton, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's gone for the move on Lewis Hamilton in the Alpine, and oh no, Hamilton is fighting back. I thought maybe he got that move for a second. This is an age-old battle, isn't it? Verstappen versus Hamilton, but this time it's not Red Bull versus Mercedes, it's Haas versus Alpine. Verstappen's not happy as Hamilton gets back past him, but I think maybe, or they both have DRS though. Will Verstappen be able to get a bit of a slipstream? Hamilton's sitting right where he needs to be though to defend that position, and Verstappen cannot get past. It looks like Alonso trying to get past Bottas now. He's caught back up to these guys. Leclerc just ahead of these guys as well. Is he on... Okay, so these guys on medium tyres. We're of course on soft, so that explains why we're pretty quick at the moment. Bottas gets past Alonso. I think it was more that Alonso almost got past Bottas but couldn't quite make the move. Tyres are getting a bit hot again for both of them, but just got to keep an eye on it. I'm going to get Verstappen to drive in clean air just so that he can keep his tyres alive a bit more.
Okay.
These are getting a bit hotter than Alonso. So we're just going to see, he's probably going to drop back a bit here, but we'll see what that does. I think we'll also take this fuel back down to balanced. Alonso has Ricciardo behind him. Ricciardo's trying to get past. Ooh, that's a bit close. That's a bit close for comfort, but Ricciardo gets back past Alonso. Now I'm thinking, because of this rain that is coming at some point fairly soon, around about our pit window, maybe since our tyres are getting a bit down on both drivers, maybe we'll pit a bit earlier here, go on to the mediums, and then, I mean, we might have to go like soft, medium, hard if we don't end up going onto the intermediate tyres, but I think it's going to be better to pit now. And yeah, a lot of other people have pit. You can see there, bottom end of the field, they're all pit already. So I think we're going to pit this lap for Alonso. So let's get that up for him. Alonso, put him on the mediums this lap. And then Verstappen. Because yeah, I think we're going to be at a point where we're going to need at least intermediate tyres eventually. These tyres were starting to go off the cliff a little bit. Yeah, it's an okay pit stop, not amazing. 3.007. Alright, here comes Verstappen now into the pits for his change onto medium tyres. I don't know if this is the best call for strategy. I'm just worried that if we went on to, well, one, the softs were wearing out pretty quickly. If we did our normal strategy, we'd be pitting about when the rain is coming. I don't know if it would quite be good enough for intermediates at that point in time. Alonso is going to go past in the pits there. Verstappen, though, I think is going to come out. Is he going to come out ahead of Ocon? Looks like he's just about going to come out ahead of Ocon. Okay, it looks like the rain is starting to rock up as Alonso goes down the inside of Gasly there very easily. Not sure what tyres Gasly's on. He looks like he's on old mediums, so hasn't come into the pits yet. No, he hasn't. So good work from Alonso there. The rain is slowly starting to come down, but it's not massively heavy yet. So I think at the moment we're good. And most other people have come into the pits, so even if it is, you know, going on to intermediates pretty soon, we've almost negated the strategy. It's really just what the two Williams, Russell, the two Mercedes, and Ricciardo that haven't come in yet, and Gasly, who we just overtook. So I don't think it's going to affect us too much because this rain is supposed to just gradually keep coming. So I don't think it's going to get wet enough for intermediates too quickly. Look how close they are to each other now. Now that Verstappen's in the DRS of Alonso, they're pretty damn close to each other. I don't really want to let Alonso pass though, because they'll just keep getting DRS of each other. So it's not Verstappen pass, sorry. It's not. I don't think it's that Verstappen's quicker. It's just that in the DRS of each other, they're just, you know. Although Verstappen does have better tyres, so I think we're going to leave it like this for now. Leclerc looks to be coming into the pits. Oh, and he's onto inters. Leclerc is onto the intermediate tyre. He's taken that gamble. Is it time for the inters yet? Looks like Magnussen from Williams is coming in as well. Is he also going to the intermediates? I imagine he probably is. 80% rain now, so it is starting to come down considerably more. Is this going to work out for these guys on these tyres? Might mean that we're going to have to come in for inters pretty soon. Yes, he is also onto inters, so that is interesting. Okay. It is time for inters then. It doesn't seem massively different at the moment, so we're going to bring Alonso in first. We don't need a double stack, I don't think. So we're going to bring Alonso in first. Then next lap around, we're going to bring Verstappen in. Oh.
Change to the inter.
Alright, come on.
Boxing this lap. Okay.
Alonso pit stop onto the inters. It's a decent pit stop, 2.7. Decent pit stop for Alonso. Just going to keep pushing with Verstappen because he's coming in anyway. This next lap, Stroll's behind him. On, I assume, an inter. Track has changed to damp, so it is now a damp track. Let's put him back on standard.
Just hold back a little bit.
Neutral.
Yep,
we may have left this too late, but Alonso's in a decent position though. He's in P8. That's going to, I think, go to P7 when we get past Verstappen here.
Just watch out for traffic in the pit. You got it.
So that's pretty decent. We're still in a good position here, I think. Alright, lap 43. Alonso's managed to catch up to Hamilton, actually. No DRS, of course, in these wet conditions, although it does seem to be drying off maybe a little bit. Maybe track details. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to say. Moderate rain, light rain. So yeah, it looks like it is starting to teeter off a little bit. See by the graph here, we're still going up. We kind of went down a bit. We're going back up a little bit, and then should be kind of slowly going down on the rain front towards the end of the race. So we'll have to see how that all plans out. Look, it's already looking a little bit brighter out there. Alright, Verstappen could be making a move on Hulkenberg here as we go down into turn 1. DRS is not on yet. I was boosting ERS. Oh, he's crashed! What? What has he done? What have you done?
Now we're watching Max Verstappen here.
Oh, Max.
Not a lot of wiggle room here.
Oh, what have you done, Max?
Cars, inevitable.
Oh, what have you done? How have you managed that? How have you managed that? Oh, god damn it, Max. Now we've got front wing damage. Yeah, your front wing's damaged, mate. The plus side is we could potentially be coming to dry conditions now. So if we come into the pits, change the front wing, and maybe go into a set of mediums. How many laps we got left to go? Oh, plenty. We can almost go into a set of softs, but how many? 25 laps, that's saying. We've got what? 10. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go into a set of softs for Max. Yeah. Why not? We're screwed now anyway.
VSC.
And now there's a VSC.
Just +0.
Oh, do we risk it with Alonso though? I think with Alonso we've got to just wait to see what everybody else does. I don't think we can risk it with him. We've got to do a front wing change. Let's see how this goes. He's also got that penalty to serve as well.
Looks like it doesn't start raining. Copy.
Alright, animation's a bit strange. Did we do the penalty? Still saying we've got the penalty. Have we got rid of that penalty? No? No, we haven't got rid of the... Why have we not got rid of the penalty? I'm going to guess the track is still too wet because Verstappen is just falling down the order like a stone. I mean, look at this. It's got Williams all over the back of him. On the inters. And the Williams is almost gone for a move into the final corner. Is DRS enabled yet? No, so that tells me the track is still wet. But I mean, it was at least worth a try with Verstappen because he wasn't going to get anywhere anyway. So all hope is now with Alonso to bring us some points in this race. Yep, seems like everybody's coming into the pits now. Or I assume dry tyres. Yep, okay, so we're going to bring Alonso in. Put him onto a set of softs. Hit this lap for Alonso.
We've got a yellow flag here.
Oh, Ocon has spun. Ocon's had a spin. What has happened here? Oh, same place that I think it was Sainz had that really slow spin earlier on. And that lets Alonso pass and up into, I believe, P7? P7 for Alonso, I believe. Is that right? Yes, it is. Alonso into P7. Verstappen's in P11. He's got a 5-second penalty. He's got a 23.5-second gap to Magnussen, so P11 is secure. He's 5 seconds away from Ocon, but he'd have to be 5 seconds ahead of him to get that P10 point. So it looks like no points for Max this race unless something crazy happens. But this has been one up and down race. We are now on the final lap of this race. I think we're going to go full attack. We're going to have to go back to balanced on the fuel.
Okay to push.
We're going to deploy. Can we stay ahead of Lando Norris? It's going to be bloody tight. Verstappen's all the way down to P11. He's not scoring points this race. Alonso, though, as we have a race winner, and that is George Russell. Russell in the Ferrari wins the first race.
George Russell.
What a result for him.
You can't say they didn't earn it. They put in an amazing performance today.
Looking pretty happy. Fair enough. Can we get P7 here with Alonso? We are absolutely screaming these tyres out, but we don't need any more from them at this point in time. We're going to go attack with Verstappen as well, because we might as well. I'm a bit worried we're going to run out of deployment right at the end here, but we should be fine to make it to the line. As we around the last couple of corners with Alonso. Norris still right hot on our heels, but I think he's going to run out of space unless we screw this last corner up, which we will not. We're going to cross the line with Fernando Alonso in P7. So we score some good points for Haas in our first race this season. It's a shame for Verstappen. He's the last driver to finish on the lead lap there as he rounds the final corner. P11 for him, even with his penalty. Still going to be P11. Yeah, bit of a mixed bag. Bit of a mixed bag, that one, but we did pick up some good points. 6 points for Haas, so that's good. There we have it. George Russell wins the Spanish Grand Prix, the first round of this season. Lance Stroll comes home in second, Charles Leclerc third. Then you've got Ricardo, Hamilton, Perez. Alonso comes home seventh for our team. I think that's a pretty decent result for him. Norris 8th, Bottas 9th, Ocon in 10th. Verstappen only can manage 11th in the end, still beating Magnussen even with that penalty, but yeah, not the race for Max, unfortunately. And yeah, 3 DNFs, Hulkenberg, Piastri, and Zhou. So pretty exciting race there. Ferrari leading the, sorry, that's the drivers. Ferrari leading the Constructors' Championship from Mercedes, Red Bull, Aston Martin, Alpine, and Haas. Williams, McLaren, RB, and Stake still to score. But yeah, that was exciting. That was a good, interesting race for sure. A lot going on. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.